Hey everybody, welcome to Morphin Grid. I'm Jake.
I'm Josh.
And today we're watching episode 27 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Wheel of Misfortune.
Sorry, we're a team, because I already forgot what it was called. So, it aired November 1st, 1993. And I bet there's a wheel and people don't like what it does.
I think it's going to be a game show, but Rita's going to trap them in an evil game show.
Oh, that would be cool. They did that once, but it was stupid. So, the Halloween, do you remember the Halloween one where there was a game show, but you had to be in costume?
I do.
That was
now that you mention it.
That was a dumb thing.
That's probably not this one.
No,
we just had a Halloween one.
Yeah, it's aired on All Saints Day. Okay, no more spooky stuff anymore. But if you're new here,
there you are.
What's going on, guys?
Now you got it.
Welcome to the podcast. What we do is we pause the recording, watch an episode of Power Rangers, come back, we talk about it. You can watch along. It's on Netflix. It's on DVD. You get it by now. And if you're new, that's it. That's all there is. There's nothing else to get. So we're going to jump right into it because
it's Morphin time. And we're back. We just watched Wheel of Misfortune, which I almost just called Island of Illusion because that's what's on the screen and that's what I just read.
Those are our next two episodes.
And I'm awful.
Yep.
So there's that. But here we are.
Yep. No game show.
Not a game show.
There was a play. We'll get to it. Before we get to it, though, that's a weird way to say that. I'm just going to roll with it. If you want to find us on the internet, you can go to morphingrid.tumblr.com or you can go to... you can't go to our email. Oh, geez. You can't go to our email, but you can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid.
You can go to your email and write us an email.
There we go. There it is. littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can go to Twitter and talk to us there. We are at Morphingrid. You are whatever your name is.
I'm the Paul Heyman. Shasha.
Shasha. You learned you a lesson.
Drive Dodge status.
So yeah, come talk to us somewhere. We're also on iTunes. Leave a rating and review if you like. If not,
that's fine too.
Then don't. Plenty of people don't.
Most people don't. Why is my camera on?
I don't know. Taking pictures of that hole, the space between your legs. It's a weird level of artsy that I don't understand.
Speaking of taking pictures, we work at Target.
Yep.
This doesn't need to make the podcast, but I want to tell somebody about this because it's awful.
Okay.
There's a wall of TVs there.
Yeah.
That just play crap.
Shakira
and that garbage La Luz song. It's stupid and I hate it. But there's also like little things. There's a CNET how-to that plays on there. And it's how to take pictures of your food for Instagram.
I hate that.
And this lady is like telling you how to frame it and like basically telling you to stand up and get the top view because that's the best one. So to be a nerd in a restaurant, and it's awful. If
I ever saw someone taking a picture of their food like that,
she even says at one point, she's got her phone in her hand, right? And she's like, if getting out of your seat is a little weird to you, the 3/4 angle, she holds it up like this, like all weird. She's like, is the way to go. It's really awful. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Next time that's on, you need to page me so I can come see it, so I can hunt down this woman, throw rocks at her car.
I know her name. It's Shannon. It starts with a V. It's like Vacnon, something like that.
I don't know.
Her Instagram is Shannon Vac, VAK.
I'm gonna report her for spam.
Go be mean to her on Instagram. It's not her fault. She's just doing her job.
She could have done a different job. She chose this job.
The one before this one was how to set up a TV, which was nice and informative and should be in an electronics department.
Right. Well, that was a good 5 minutes of...
I had to get it out.
I understand.
It's awful.
So let's just jump into the episode. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Starting out with the return of Kaplan.
Yes.
Kaplan has come back to...
There's going to be some toupees flying in this episode.
You can bank on it. He's come back to executive produce a play. I think he's directing
it.
Billy is the floor director. Or stage director.
He's super pumped about it.
And he's like, "Police everyone!" And then he runs away.
Yeah!
And then...
Bye-bye!
So they're doing Rumpelstiltskin. Jason is the evil king, or just the king.
The
I
king.
assume he's evil because he wants to trap the girl.
He's definitely snooty.
Yes. He's like, if you can't spin this straw into gold, I'm going to have to throw you in the dungeon. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about it.
That's the rules.
That's the rule. Can't help you. Your dad said you could, and if you can't, he's a liar, and you're getting punished
And you're
for that.
getting in the dungeon.
So Kimberly is the princess, obviously.
Well, duh.
And what was Kimberly wearing part 1? A princess gown.
It's pink
That's pink.
with some weight on
Yep. This is also part 3, so just refer back to right now. Later. Because it's the same dress. Bulk is Rumpelstiltskin, which was a weird casting decision. I would have picked Zach, you know?
it. Sure.
Bulk could have been...
Or Tommy,
Right.
because they tease a kiss scene at the end.
Bulk could have been a tree
Could have not been in the play.
or a boulder or a spectator. But instead,
Said he won the part of Rumpelstiltskin.
somehow,
Who else was trying for that? Nobody.
nobody.
Had to be just Bulk.
He's the only one showing them. They're like, oh, God. All right, so he's in his tights, which, if you'll remember for the Halloween episode, he didn't want to wear green tights.
No.
But here he is wearing green tights. Bulk is a liar.
No, his character's just evolving. He's growing as a person.
Or he's a liar.
He's also still wearing a leather
He's
jacket,
got a leather jacket
with a bunch of unnecessary zippers on it.
to add a touch of the 90s. And yeah, no, you definitely are in a lot of ways.
It's so 90s in here right
It is.
now.
And so they're like, spin this to gold. And he's like, yep.
No problem, babe.
No problem, babe. And so he's spinning like crazy, and it knocks Kaplan's wig right off.
Because it's spinning so fast.
So
it's like
fast.
a high-powered fan.
It creates a little air current that just goes and knocks his hair off, but also breaks the spinning wheel.
Yep.
To which he replies, "Bummer," because he's a jerk. He's a big jerk.
He's a jerk. And Kimberly loses it.
her dag mind.
Puts her mom voice on.
Yeah, oh,
Her
yeah.
angry mom voice
Yes.
on.
I'm surprised she wasn't like, "Farkas Bulkmeyer." But yeah, he broke it. And she's like, "Hold on a minute," and then she like flips out and leaves.
She beats Bulk up a little bit. She like
does
hits
kinda
him.
slug him a little.
And Bulk feels bad.
After he gets hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, he's like, "What's the big deal?" And she's like, "This happens to be very important to me." She storms off, and he's just sitting there like, uh-oh.
Right, because it's her great-grandmother's?
It's her grandmother's.
Her grandmother's antique spinning wheel.
Yes. So it might have also been her great-grandmother's.
Right. Could have been.
It's been in
passed
this family.
down.
This is the same one from Rumpelstiltskin. Her family is descended from that princess.
That's crazy.
I know.
Makes a lot of sense, though.
It does. It adds up.
Is this the same princess gown from the Halloween episode?
No. That one had more taffeta. Is taffeta a food?
It's a racer in Sugar Rush.
I know, but I feel like taffeta is also a material.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
Yes, I am.
Aren't all clothes just cotton? I don't know.
Some your jeans aren't made of cotton.
Denim's not made out of cotton?
It's made of denim.
What is denim? You grow denim?
You just grow denim plants. There's fields of denim that people pick. I don't know how denim gets made.
I'm pretty sure there's cotton in here.
Look, you got a tag.
Yeah, but I'm not going to read it.
What's my tag say?
Here it is. Here we go.
Okay. It's a good podcast. Doesn't say.
Made in Nicaragua.
Yeah, mine too. Weird. My pants are 100% cotton, which is weird.
Where does it say that?
On that front flap. Should say it at the top.
Just says made in Nicaragua.
Made in Nicaragua.
Doesn't say. Oh, no. Here we go. 99% cotton, 1% spandex.
That's weird. Jeans are made out of weird stuff. But polyester,
But they're all made out of cotton.
lycra isn't cotton. It's plastic.
Silk is not cotton.
No, it's
Silk
made
makes
from
weird
worms.
feeling clothes, though.
It was silk and some lace and stuff. It was not the same dress. Wow, that went weird. Why do you guys listen to this?
Cut that. Don't say that. Because then they'll be like, I don't know, and they'll
You're
stop.
right, I shouldn't do unsubscribe. Or maybe they'll go, because you're stupid and we like laughing
At you.
at you. We're not laughing with you. We're not making fun with you. We're making fun of you. Anyway, back to Power Rangers.
I don't know what happened.
We cut to the juice bar. I don't know what happened. We cut to the juice bar where Kimberly is. What was Kimberly wearing? Part 2. She was changed out of her dress.
Her play clothes.
Yes. Technically correct.
Right.
And she's wearing a red tank top and pink pants. And they're not the same pink pants as last episode because these are like pink mom jeans. They are hoisted really high.
Yeah, they're a little more pastel-y.
In a less than flattering way. I mean, let's be honest. She can still hashtag get it. But she's wearing mom pants. That's just a fact of life right now. Moving on.
Because she got mom mad. So she has to be
These are the only pants that express my emotions. Just let me feel my feelings. And wear these pants.
All right, let's stop talking about clothes. It's getting
Stop
weird.
talking about pants. Okay, so Ernie's like, hey, what's wrong, Kim? You bumming. And she's like, well, my grandma's...
Why the long face
Why
is
the
what
long
he says.
face? My grandma's spinning wheel is broken. Oh, we forgot the face
Oh,
that
yeah.
she made.
Right, because Bulk says that Kimberly is making him mess up his lines. And
And she goes, oh, like, that sound is what her face does.
like, if you take that picture you got of the sneering babe,
Yes.
you crank it up to 11.
Yes. Yes, Sneering Babe
You
part
guys,
2.
you guys will be able to see Kimberly's face because we're pretty sure we're using that as the episode capture.
That is 100% going to be the episode, the picture for the episode. Morphingrid.tumblr.com. Check it out.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be updated.
By then, yeah.
We'll be back to updating with the episode, not weeks later.
Yeah, I'm just lazy. I have the pictures even. I got them, and then I just didn't do anything with them.
Anyway.
Back to the Power Rangers at hand. So he's like, what's wrong with your grandma's spinning wheel? She's like, I don't know. It's like stuck or something. Not in that like flippant a way, but like it was angrier. But that's exactly what she said.
Yeah.
It's like stuck or
It's
something.
like stuck or something.
And so Tommy comes up and he's like, hey, let's go take a look at it. Maybe I can fix
I
it.
bet I can fix it.
He's really soft-spoken when he talks to Kimberly, and then every other time it's all, Kias! I think Tommy might like Kimberly.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll just have to wait 2 more seasons to find out.
So they go... No, he's still a Green Ranger when they get together. So they go to the room where the spinning wheel is. So the school has to be pretty close to the juice bar.
I mean, they just cut there. Who knows how long it took them to walk?
You're right. But I feel like
But then they
close.
Then they go immediately back to the...
Yeah.
It's like across the street.
Yeah.
Or right next door.
Right. It's not far.
Or it's on campus.
No, because it's surrounded by a parking lot. From the aerial shots, there's like a gigantic parking lot
That's
around
just
it.
stock
And there's
aerial footage.
there's a
Who
street-
cares? No one's watching this as hard as we are.
No, that's true. We are accidentally dissecting Power Rangers. Anyway, the spinning wheel is gone because Rita sent putties to steal it, to turn it into an evil wheel of misfortune.
Rita sent Goldar and Putties to steal it.
Was he in the room?
He was in there.
I did not remember that because putties teleported in.
Because then later Zordan says that Goldar took it. So
Right. We'll get to the difference between Zordan and Zordan because we figured it out. It's not just the way Jason David Frank spells it. He's spelling Zordan because it's a different person.
It's a different guy.
And we'll talk about him later. Hopefully not for too long though. So
Hopefully not for as long as we talked about pants. Because we only got 40 minutes before I gotta go. So
yeah. So anyway, they go back to the juice bar where Bulk and Skull are talking, and
well, they're back there to question people. If anyone has
They
seen
walk
somebody
in,
carrying a giant antique spinning wheel.
Everyone's like, nah. We would have noticed that, I think. And so they're like, oh, it's done. It's all over.
I thought as soon as they walked in that room and the spinning wheel was gone, Kimberly was going to be like, Rita, what are you doing?
Rita stole it. Had to be Rita.
I was surprised that they didn't even suspect her once.
No, not until it happened. Not until Zordan told them. So anyway, they go back to the juice bar. They're questioning people. The lighting is fine. Then it goes to Bulk and Skull. And the lighting is a little darker, a little sinister. Because, number one, there's a fly in the popcorn. A comically large hamster-sized rubber fly that scares Skull enough for him to
hit it.
To hit it several times. But then...
And then they laugh about it.
And they laugh about it because, giant flies are hilarious.
I don't think it was a real fly.
No, it wasn't. It was obviously a rubber fly.
It was just Bulk.
Yeah, it was Bulk.
Being a goober.
Yeah. But then, the reason the lighting is different is because Tommy walks up and he is super serious.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, do you guys know where the spinning wheel went? And they're like, no.
Well, first Bulk's like,
Bulk lied.
Yeah, I'm a little short on money, so Skull spun me some cash so I could get a soda.
And he's like, I'm serious, Bulk. He's about to kick Bulk's head off of his body. Because his lady friend is being stressed out right now. And it's not his lady friend yet, but he's got eyes for her now. Right. I think he's figured it out. And we'll get to that later.
He figured it out before he was evil. And then he was evil, and then he wasn't evil, and he remembered. They're just being teenagers about it.
They're just being stupid teenagers about it.
Tommy, you stupid.
Yeah.
Wait too long, she's going to end up with Skull.
Well, she might anyway. Then Kimberly, having had no luck, goes over to the stage or something and sits down and puts her hand in her head in her hand, and then Billy, Trini, Kimberly.
She's on the because there's a step up from the floor to the juice bar.
Is that where she was?
I think that's where she's sitting.
I thought she was on a little
But she's
stage
also
area.
against the wall. She's on the bleachers in the juice bar.
There's a stage so you can watch the karate stuff.
All right, yeah. That's probably
so she sits on the bottom because there's two steps.
Right.
Because
at least there's 2 steps that we see. Maybe
Yeah.
she's up toward the top and there's 100 steps. It's a really big
knows?
juice bar.
Very large. Juice bars were huge in the early 90s.
That's why Ernie's always not having enough money. so much rent probably if it's so big.
Takes up so much electricity. There's a whole shower thing in it.
It's like a locker room.
Yeah. So she sits down, puts her hand in her face in her hand. She doesn't put her hand in her face. That'd be weird. Puts her face in her hand. And then Billy, Trini, Zach, and Jason come down and put their hand in their face.
Their face in their hands.
Yeah. The exact
in
same
unison.
way. And I was like, are they making fun of her? And Josh was like, no, they're being best friends 5 ever.
Yeah.
and then I was like, they're a little bit making fun of her the way friends do.
Yeah.
Because it cheered her up for a second.
Right.
Because she was like, oh, am I being pouty? Am I being too pouty?
You guys are goobers. What are you doing?
And it was a cute moment. It was like, oh, look at their friends. They're all friends.
Because, there was a little bit making fun of her, but it was a little bit man, she's really bummed. It's kind of bumming me out.
Yeah.
So let's try to cheer her up.
How do we help our friend? A lot of bad stuff has happened to Kimberly in the last couple episodes.
Pink Ranger's part of the burden of being the Pink Ranger is that you're the easiest to pick on for Rita.
You're the heart of the group. It's a cross you bear. Sometimes you get turned into a cat. Sometimes you get turned into a cat person. Other times, Rita takes your spinning wheel.
Other times, yellow and pink switch.
Right.
Because you get Cassie and Ashley, Ashley's the girly girl, but she's the yellow ranger. Cassie's not really a tomboy because she dresses like a girl.
She's a chick. She's a chick.
She's a chick.
Oh, I love Cassie. She's the best part about Turbo.
Yeah, but you got to watch the rest of Turbo to get there.
Especially when
I saw a gift set of them stuck in the pizza the other day.
I love it.
Oh, Turbo.
Is there a Power Rangers GIF Reddit?
It was on Tumblr because I clicked Tumblr by accident, and it's logged in on Morphin Grid. So there's a bunch of Power Rangers reblogs because we follow some Power Rangers. We follow
several Power Rangers.
And a bunch of the stuff you reblogged, and I was just there for 2 hours I gotta figure Tumblr out.
That's what Tumblr is. You're like, what's on Tumblr? I follow like 300 people on Tumblr. So then Tommy just leaves. He doesn't say bye to Kimberly. He doesn't say, hey, I'm going to go help find it. He just is gone. He's just leaving for whatever reason. Took his communicator off.
Put it in his bag.
Put it in his gym bag. And then we go up to Goldar for a second, and he's like, oh, I sent the putty patrollers to attack Tommy and to take care of him. And I wrote down, yeah, because that's worked so well in the past. And I wrote it in a snotty voice because it's never worked. You send the putty patrollers, they're going to get killed. But
they're made out of super putties still, I think.
No, they're not. I think they wasted all that on those 6 putties.
There was the giant ball of it.
But these ones just get knocked out like nothing later.
Right.
But I wrote that's worked so well in the past. Then it works.
Then it works.
They take care of Tommy. They tie him up because they're not trying to kill him. They're like, just tie him up to a tree.
Sometimes even a putty can beat Tommy.
Even
6 putties can beat Tommy.
A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Tommy does a backflip onto the fence to get his gym bag. So he does like a...
Right, because
he backflips like 40 feet.
The fight starts on a bridge, and he knocks all the putties off the bridge, and then jumps off the bridge himself. And then he's fighting the putties. And then he sees his gym bag, and presumably thinks, yeah, that'll help me out. And we find out later why.
His communicator's in it.
His communicator's in it, but we don't know that until after he gets caught.
That's not said until literally he gets caught and he goes, take my communicator off.
He flips back up to the bridge and he's like fighting him on the guardrail. And like one of the putties just boots his bag off of there and it goes flying. That's funny. And then he gets caught. He gets knocked onto the bridge and they tie him up with rope.
Yep. And Zordan is watching this happen.
Right, because then Tommy, his bag is in front of his face. And he's like, oh, I shouldn't have put my communicator in there. I'm such an idiot.
Stupid Tommy. But
Zordan can see him.
Zordan, number one, is watching.
Guarantee Zordan was watching.
Which we find out literally the next second that he was because the Power Rangers, the rest of the Power Rangers get a communication. They get beeped. Their buzzer goes off.
Right.
And Zordan's like, you need to morph back to the command center.
That's Zordan.
This is Zordan. It's really Zordan in a second.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Because he brings them all back. First of all, morph back to the what? No.
They just teleport. Yeah. Jason's like, yeah, okay. And then they just warp there. Come on.
So he's like, several things, Power Rangers. Number one, Tommy has been captured, and I let it happen.
He's only being tied down by rope. I could probably teleport him out of there, but no.
But instead, no.
He knows what he has to do.
Yeah. What? Excuse me? He knows what he has to do? He needs to get attacked by putties.
Well, he's tied up at this point. He says he knows what he has to do later.
Yeah.
Later in this scene.
But he's like, so Tommy's roped up to a tree. Rita stole your grandma's spinning wheel, made it into a giant
Wheel of Misfortune.
Don't worry about that.
But he says, which can destroy anything it touches, even you.
But first, more importantly than a walking antimatter, because if it destroys anything it touches,
we find out later that it doesn't actually.
It doesn't really do that. It's just basically a monster truck wheel. It's like from some cartoon show about sweet monster trucks, or like a post-apocalyptic show with monster truck wagons. I don't know where I was going with that.
It's definitely a wagon wheel with a bunch of sparklers on spikes on it.
Yeah, a lot of sparklers.
Sparkless kid.
And it was like, but most importantly, Goldar and Scorpina are rampaging, and you need to stop it. So they morph and they teleport to where Scorpina and Goldar are rampaging.
They land and immediately get blasted by Scorpina.
They're on like the beach. Number one,
they're nowhere near town.
They're not near civilization. Yeah, like if
they're rampaging, they're just enjoying each other's company. Yeah,
they're just on a date, Zordan. You freaking monster. Just let them be. This is why they keep attacking you.
Yeah,
because they're like, aside from Rita wanting to take over the world, like the rest of them are like not bad.
Right.
Like Finster Finster's weirdly sinister, and Goldar is like, I'll do
Finster's
whatever
a
I'm told.
captive.
Yeah, I feel
But he
like,
spent 10,000 years with them.
So he's got
He's
Stockholm
got
syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
or he's got Nemesis syndrome because they were on the planet Nemesis,
Right.
which I figured out that's what the asteroid was.
Yes.
It was the planet hidden behind the sun in our opposite orbit that every once in a while is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Like in 1993, just right there. And I guess the orbit's 10,000 years. In Z Ranger, it's like 1 million.
It's like 10 million.
It's like 120 million or something crazy like that. Anyway, so they go interrupt Scorpina and Goldar's date, and they get blasted
Yeah,
because
Scorpina is not having that.
she's like, look, I don't get to spend a lot of time with him because Rita's always got him working.
I'm only in every 10th episode so far. Come on.
Not even.
This is the second time we've seen her.
It was about 10 episodes, so yeah. But yeah, so then they fight. Rita shows up and does a weird. It's not a good sentence at all.
No, I think it's just like they had to make the sentence as long as the footage of her talking
to match the mouth, and so they were like, just put a bunch of words together, and she did.
Yeah. Yep.
And then she threw her wand to distract us, and that made Goldar and Scorpina grow. And giant Scorpina again is hideous.
It's a monstrosity.
Ugh, she's probably the ugliest looking monster, which in stark contrast to the actress who plays Scorpina being pretty cute. That, it's like, oh, now you're a monster.
Yep.
Gotcha, suckers. You were pranked.
I'm not making a You've Been Pranked shirt.
Not yet. If there's enough demand, everybody...
But it's not even our thing.
It is now. It was in one episode of Grace.
Yeah, but that's still plagiarism unless we asterisk it. And
It's not plagiarism.
You're still taking somebody else. You're using the same voice probably because I haven't seen it.
No, I am. But it's not plagiarism. It's an homage. First of all, don't worry about it.
Not making the shirt.
Eventually there'll be a You've Been Pranked shirt. He'll break down.
No, it won't.
Then I'll make a You've Been Pranked shirt. It'll look hideous. And you'll fix it, and we'll have a You've Been Pranked shirt. Anyway, T-Rex gets thrown in a net thrown on him. And as we all know, the only natural predator that T-Rex has had back in the days of the dinosaurs were nets.
Where's the net?
And because he can't do anything about it, it literally wraps around him and he falls down.
And then Scorpina shocks him with her tail.
Yeah, and then Goldar boots him in the chest because they ruin.
Right, because then Trini and Zach come running up. Trini's like, "I got you," and then I think both Goldar and Scorpina zap them, and Zach's like, cuts them going,
Oh no!
And then Jason's like, "Power Rangers, get away from here!
Save yourselves!
You guys are gonna get beat up.
It's too late for me. Save yourselves!"
I'm stuck in a net. I can't go anywhere. So
then we cut back to the command center where Alpha is talking to Zordan. He's like, "Oh, this doesn't look good, Zordan." Little does Alpha know, this is actually Zordan.
This is definitely Zordan.
And he goes, "No, it'll be fine. Tommy knows what to do." Like that. What? That's actively withholding help from a guy tied to a tree by people who hate him.
Yep.
Who try to murder him often.
Yep.
That.
Gotta teach him.
But
I think he's trying to
make them self-reliant.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
He's a monster. He's being a monster about it.
Being a monster about it. But anyway, fortunately for Zordan, Tommy, or maybe unfortunately, Tommy does know what to do.
Is Zordan the bad guy?
Zordan's the bad guy. Zordan's definitely the bad guy. Every time we thought it was just Zordan being a bad guy, that was actually Zordan.
Right.
They're both trapped in the same time warp, and there's a spell on them so they can't talk about each other. Or something.
But yeah, we cut back to Tommy and the putties, and Tommy's tied to the tree. And he's rubbing the rope against the tree, and it's starting to break. And the putties are trying to figure out his bag.
Yeah, they're like, "What is this?"
At one point, they do that thing where they touch it, but then they jump back because they don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Because putties are just cats with human limbs.
Oh, and they hate Power Rangers. Power Rangers are like water to them.
Right.
Water's also probably like water to them because they're made of clay. They'll probably melt.
Yep.
But they're hot clay. They're
I don't know.
They're still putty, so they would melt. Anyway, Tommy breaks the rope. He saws it against the tree enough to have it break. And he's like, "Oh, I don't feel good. You need to come over here because I don't feel good.
Because I'm sick. You guys should help me."
They should have been like, "No, just throw up on your pants. We don't care about you." The only reason we tied you up is because when we're trying to kill you, we die.
Right.
We're not good at killing. We're great at tying you up,
Right.
and we're fine at it because the rope is breaking.
Right.
They need a stronger density rope next time, and then the problem's solved. But they come over because I guess Rita wants him alive, so they need to make him comfortable. I don't know. They come over because they're stupid. He's like, "Hey, kitty, come here, buddy." And they're like, "What, are you going to pet my head?" And he's like, "No!" He breaks
I think
the
he just
rope.
kicks one right in the gut.
Straight in the gut,
Like,
yeah.
this putty's coming over, like, kind of cautiously, but, like, to make sure he's okay. He
Right.
just gets a foot in the gut. I felt kind of bad for this one putty.
See what you get for trying to help people? One putty.
That's what happens when you're ugly.
People kick your guts.
People kick you in the gut. Also, I mean, they did tie him up.
They earned it, but it does seem a trifle
But just,
unnecessary.
like, I don't know. They made the putties kind of, like...
They humanized them.
They humanized them a little bit.
And then they had our heroes kill them.
Felinized them? Felinized them.
Felinized.
I don't like that either.
Catted them up.
Moving right along.
So he kills all the putties, and then it goes to definitely not Zordan.
Yeah.
This is 100% Zordan because it's like a
The voice
weird
is
voice.
wrong. It's like somebody trying to make the Zordon voice.
Yeah, it's like me doing the Zordan voice. But he's
You're
like...
better at it than this guy was.
Yeah, because I try to do a Zordan voice. It just comes out Zordon. But he's like, "Tommy, I have... I don't know. I don't remember what he said. He's like, "Tommy,
basically
now
like-
that you're free, I told Jason to make the Ultra Zord, and you need to go help him."
But yeah, I told him to make the Ultra Zord, and it's not working, so you need to go help. First of all, two things. He never said that.
Never said to Jason at all.
And of course he needs to go help because the Dragon Zord is part of the Ultra Zord.
Right. That's the Ultra Zord.
It's all of the Zords in the one Zord.
The one Zord. It's Ultra. Duh.
It's the Dragon Megazord because it's the one when the dragon is on his shoulders, standing in the back of Titanus.
Riding Titanus into battle. Titanus is a cannon machine. It's made of cannons, too. It just shoots out a bunch of things. But they go back to the fight before... no, because then Tommy shows up.
Yep.
And the Wheel of Misfortune...
Well, Dragon Zord comes out and just rips the net off of the T-Rex.
Idiot, let me get that off of you. Godzilla's ain't afraid of nets.
No. Not
Unless
at
you
all.
got nuclear weapons. We're not even a little scared of you. So then they fight Scorpina and they split up. The fight becomes Megazord versus the Wheel of Misfortune. Because the Wheel of Misfortune just bumps into the
It just comes spinning in. It's
From-
like on a pendulum.
yeah, and it bumps into T-Rex and Dragon Zord, and then they bring them together.
They power
Megazord.
up their crystals.
Yes, which we have not seen in a little bit. And so it's Megazord like, "Where's the Power Sword?" So they're fighting the wheel while the Dragon Zord is fighting Scorpina and Goldar. And then Jason makes the game day decision to make the Ultra Zord. Because Zordan never told him.
never told him. Unless he told him off camera.
I don't believe
Like,
that.
while he's in a net being zapped and beaten up. He's
Right,
like, "Oh,
trying
Jason, you got to make the Ultra Sword." Jason's like, "Oh, thanks. That helps a lot."
It helps a lot right now, Zordon. Freaking jerk. So they make the Ultra Zord. They shoot 1,000,000 bullets and rockets and fireworks at Scorpina and Goldar and presumably the wheel. I imagine the wheel gets caught up in this crossfire.
It does get destroyed, so it must.
So it has to. And then Rita just goes, "Ah, nuts." Teleports away.
And just vanishes.
Yeah. Nuts. That's...
She knew it wasn't going to work.
She probably, cursed the wheel and was like, "Oh, that was stupid." Let's
And
just
then
see it
she's
through.
like, I'm gonna make the Wheel of Misfortune, and it's this garbage wheel with some spikes and sparklers on it. And she was like, oh,
I imagine that a lot better. Finster, next time you're making the Wheel of Misfortune, yours always come out with weird stuff, and this is just boring.
this is just dumb.
This is a dumb wheel. Barely can hurt anything.
Why is it a wagon wheel? This was made in the 80s. It could have been like a monster truck wheel or
it was made from, because there was that shot of the spinning wheel. So it's supposed to look like the spinning wheel, but it looks a lot
Why
like
is it made from a spinning wheel?
Because, I don't know, I didn't watch the G-Render footage. Or episode. We did see the footage.
We did see the footage, just not in context.
Oh, we stupid.
Yeah.
So then they're going back. We cut back down to Earth where they're talking about. They're like, man, that wheel was rough.
It's a bad wheel.
It's a bad wheel. And then Kimberly's like, what am I gonna tell my grandmother? Like, we blew up her spinning wheel with 1 million rockets. And so they open the door to the room. I don't know why they're going back there. To clean up. Because there's a janitor sometimes. So they open up the door, and there's the spinning wheel. It's back. And
it's fixed.
That's good. Way to go, Rita. Good looking out. Maybe she's like, I can't send a broken wheel to kill the Power Rangers. That's never gonna work. Let me fix it first. Then I'll send it to kill the Power Rangers.
Right. Well, Zordan beeps them at this point.
Yeah.
To, congratulate them on overcoming the odds that he put in front of them.
Yeah. Thanks for winning my affection.
Power Rangers are really my pets. That P is gonna pop really bad when I said Power Rangers.
Oh, it did. Look at that. That's it.
Is that fixable? No, probably not. Anyway,
It happened so quick.
that looks bad to me, and I don't even edit this.
Anyway,
I forgot where I was going with that.
Zordan's like, hey, way to go. You guys did it.
Right, and then he's like, by defeating the Wheel of Misfortune, your grandmother's antique spinning wheel has been restored to its original state. So it's like brand new, like when it was made back in the 1800s. That's
Well, I mean,
because the original state that they got it in was
broken. We got it back to your pre-bulk touched it state. It's a weird set of rules that we got with spinning wheels and curses. I don't know how to explain it to you in human terms. So then they go to the play where we're... Actually, no, then we go to Bulk and Skull watching
TV
in a closet.
They're in a classroom, I think, because it's big enough that like Kaplan walks in behind them.
Right. And the news cuts off they're watching their stories. And the news cuts it off, and they don't like that because the news is...
Well, they don't like it because it was Power Rangers, and they don't
Right.
like them yet. They're not at the point where they're trying to figure out who they are.
Right. I like that. That's one of my favorite arcs of theirs. They go through a lot of development.
And then they do find out way later. And I think Bulk's like, those geeks. It's good. It's good stuff.
Oh, and then there's that Spartacus moment.
Oh, yeah.
It wakes my heart. I love it. I love it so much.
The Spartacus moment is first. Because they morph right in front of everybody. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's awesome. I'm just talking about the Spartacus. Oh, man.
Yeah,
In Space is so
it's
good.
Great. In Space is
We're going to
really
have what
good.
was Andromeda. What was Astronema wearing? That's
What was Astronema's hair?
Yes. Oh, man. It's the best. Anyway, so then they're at the play, and they're in like a later act than they were when they were practicing because he's like, now I need 3 bundles of straw into gold, or else I'll throw you in the dungeon forever again. So my hands are tied. There's the king. Can't do anything about that.
Because he's got a handful and he throws it on the ground. And then Kimberly's like, now there's more.
And she's like,
woe is me.
woe is me. Madam, woe is me. Rumpelstiltskin, I need your help. And then Bulk doesn't come. And she goes, Rumpelstiltskin, and where are you?
Still nothing.
Still nothing.
So she turns on her angry mom voice.
Nope. This is not angry mom voice. This is Janine Melnitz.
I don't know who that is.
From Ghostbusters.
Now I remember who that is.
Ghostbusters, what do you want? That's exactly how she says, Rumpelstiltskin, get in here. I quit better jobs than this. And so he like stumbles in. And he's like, what up, fair babe? And
No, she's like, yeah, it's like, here I am, fair babe. And she's like, took you long
took
enough.
you long enough. So he's like, yeah, okay, I'll spend all this straw of gold. I'm gonna need a kiss. And she's like, yeah, definitely, because that's
Part of the
why
play.
Bulk wanted to be.
Like, that's why he nailed the audition.
Yes, yeah, he was on point. He's like, I am gonna kiss the
Skull
crap out of
is probably so mad.
Skull was probably so nervous
Right.
that he flopped it the whole. They're like, you can be the fool, let you be the jester.
He even acts poorly.
Yeah,
Because, like, Jason's like, or I'll have to put you in the dungeon. And then he's like, or you'll go in the dungeon.
And then they pull him off stage with a giant
hook.
And she's like, yeah, I'll kiss you, whatever, but first you gotta spin strong gold. And he's like, oh, totally. And he goes to pick it up, and his pants rip open, and he's got racing pigs. I'm gonna say it again. Racing pigs.
Pigs with, like, the little numbers.
With numbers.
We went to that rodeo / fair that was here.
Yeah.
And there's pig races there.
Are people on them?
No, they're really little pigs. It's like piglet races. But they have those little number things on them, and they run around. And there was one point where they all just stopped, and they were, like, sniffing each other, and then they started running again. It was great.
We're really pigs. Great. We don't need to run for.
They all
amusement.
had pig puns for names.
Nice.
The only one I remember is Kevin Bacon, obviously.
But a little too obvious.
Yeah. There were some other ones that were weird. Justin Bieber was one.
Were they all names? Like
So,
regular?
yeah, they're all
Okay.
like celebrity names, but with pig puns in
puns?
them.
I like that. Anyway, so he rips his pants. Everyone's laughing at him. Skull makes fun of him.
Skull comes out on stage to make fun of him.
Yeah, and like it gets super eloquent when he's making fun of his friend,
Right.
but when he's got to be near Kimberly, he gets nervous.
Can't handle that.
I get that. I understand. And then he like Bulk picks up Skull as if he's about to sidewalk slam him, and then everyone's laughing.
He scoots off
And they
stage.
scoot off stage, and Kimberly goes, "At the end."
The end.
And then curtsies a little bit, and then it's the end, and then and that's the episode.
Final thoughts?
Oh,
I'm going to ask you this time.
Okay. Final thoughts. Then I'll just be you about it. Nope.
Well, we talk about it for like an hour. What do you mean by final thoughts?
I mean, like, because we talk about everything as it happens. So final thoughts is like, now that the episode's over, what do you think about it as a whole?
I think it was a really good Monster of the Week filler episode, but the Wheel of Misfortune was really stupid.
That was one of the things that they probably could have found another episode to steal from. And like the only reason they did Rumpelstiltskin in the play, I mean, it's a good bit of crazy glue that they like to work the two together. They're
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh, there's an evil spinning wheel. What the heck do we do about that? And then someone was like, what if they Rumpelstiltskin?
Right. It's
They-
Kimberly's grandmother's antique spinning wheel.
They do a play. They do Rumpelstiltskin the play, and then they turn that, and then they're like, oh, okay, and the episode kind of falls together. And
Right.
I like it when the two are like really well married. I
Right.
don't like it when the monster is stupid. Just a big wheel with some spikes and spaculas on it.
The monster this episode was Goldar and
Goldar and
Scorpina.
Scorpina. That was the real threat.
And then the wheel comes up from behind the mountains. Hey guys, I'm here to make a wheel.
How y'all doing?
It's awful. He's stupid.
That Wheel of Misfortune.
And he doesn't do anything except bother Megazord.
Yeah, he bumps into Dragonzord and the T-Rex once, and then he spins around Megazord a little bit until they go, screw this, we're going to shoot lasers and rockets at you. We're done playing. Because, oh no, that's right. We didn't talk about that. They don't hit Scorpina and Goldar at all. They just
They
straight
just
up,
blow
they
up the
blow
Wheel
it
of
up.
Misfortune, and then Goldar and Scorpina are like, "Oh, we're leaving."
You ruined our date. We're done.
Rita disappears. Goldar and Scorpina fade away.
Yes, well,
And
they're giant, so it takes them longer to teleport.
Right,
It's
right.
more mass that they got to get rid of.
Probably how that works.
That's how it works on the here on the Morphin grid. That's it. I don't have anything else to say about
No,
it.
I'm done.
I like the episode. I really like episodes of television shows where they have to do a play. That's just a thing that I like about TV shows. So I'm glad that this happened.
This is a really good episode, like,
it
to point out how the unmorph stuff is better.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Phantom of the Opera episode from Zio a little bit. Very different, but it's sort of along the same lines of, like, you know, hidden talents and, like, oh, these kids are more interesting than monsters, even though all of the children are watching it because of the monsters.
Right.
Including me when I was that age.
Yeah, the giant robots.
Yeah.
That are made out of dinosaurs.
Like, this is the best thing in the world on paper. Like, and in practice. I freaking love it. Like, we're obviously spending a lot of our time talking about Power Rangers, and you're spending a lot of your time listening to it. It's a cool thing.
Yeah.
So that's all I got, though. I think
that's been
podcast. If you want to talk to us online, I mentioned it earlier in this episode, very poorly, but you can go to morphingrid.tumblr.com, or you can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter at morphingrid. We're on iTunes. If you type in Morphin G, we're the only thing that pops up.
Yep.
If
you type in the Morphin, I think it's just us.
Is it just us? So you can leave a rating and review there if you like. We appreciate it because the more ratings and reviews we get, the algorithm works better. So, like, it's featured more people can listen to it. Everybody goes home happy.
Right. Maybe if we get popular enough, we'll figure out a way to make money.
Yeah.
And then we can get more episodes.
And then we can just do this instead of regular jobs. It's not the goal.
But I mean, if it happens,
it'd be nice. But anyway, thank you for listening. I've been Jake.
I'm always going to be Josh.
I don't know why I said that. Regardless, may the power protect you. Like, I have the memory of him coming out to that in my brain, but I don't think it's right.
I don't think it's right either.
All right. Well, we sound great.